down, I think.
At this time, I'd like to call a Fiscal Service Committee meeting to order. Have the roll call, please.
Counselor Burge,
Here.
Counselor Benucci,
Here.
Counselor Walker,
Excused.
Counselor Gosick.
Here.
I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 7th, 2024 committee meeting, please. Counselor Gozick, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Gosick,
Yes.
You see no old business. I'd like to move on to new business. Number one, the Zoning and Planning Office has received a request from Michael Barbera, owner of a single-family dwelling located at 165 East 5th Street, in order to install a new deck. Is anybody here like to speak on that matter?
There's a misspell there, it's Mike Barbell. Mike Barbell is doing the work, just to clear that up. So we're looking to take the retaining wall that's in disrepair, take that down, keep the north side of that retaining wall, and he wants to build a deck on the front. His whole front yard is in public space, so that's why. Bring it here.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? I did talk to Counselor Walker, and he's highly in favor of this. He said they're really making an effort to clean up that neighborhood, and he'd wish that we'd approve of this. Anybody else? Can I have a motion? Counselor Benucci, Counselor Gozick.
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Number two, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from Jeannie Ritz for use of public space and a waiver of noise ordinance to host the Ritz Kids Crush Cancer 5K on Saturday, October 12th, 2024. Does anybody here like to speak on the matter? Seeing none, can we have a motion? Counselor Gozick, Counselor Benucci.
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Number three, the Office of Economic Development has received a request from the Oswego YMCA to host the annual Reindeer Run on Saturday, December 7th, 2024. Does anybody here like to speak on that?
Good evening, Councilors. My name is Tricia Levine. I'm the Director of Health and Wellness, and this is the race director of the 33rd Annual Reindeer Run, which is slated to take place on Saturday, December 7th at 9:30 a.m. And we respectfully request your consideration of this event.
Any questions? No questions this time. Can I have a motion, please? Counsel Gozick, Counsel Benucci?
Chairman, or Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
I'd like to have a motion to close the meeting. Counsel Gozick, Counsel Benucci?
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
This time I would like to call to order the Administrative Services Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Plunkett,
Here.
Counselor Burge,
Here.
Counselor Allen,
Here.
Counselor Benucci,
Here.
Counselor Walton.
Here.
I'd like a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting from October 7th, 2024. Counselor Allen, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Benucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Is there any old business? Let's move on to new business. Item number one under authorization, City Engineer Jeff Hinterleiter requests acceptance of the low bid submitted by GHD Consulting Services in the amount of $533,600 for a hazardous materials survey for the West Side Wastewater Treatment Project. This is a rescind and replace. Mr. City Engineer?
So I had my secretary put these resolutions together, and there was a math error. So these next two resolutions are related to that. And what it was, GHD in their proposal had made a note of $15,000 for hazmat survey and kind of diagnosing at the West Side plant, but there was in a spot above, and she had grabbed a number that was on the table of the 518. And so this is fixing it to actually match, which the total fee, including that allowance, was $533,600. And the second resolution that's a rescind and replace is just carrying that going forward. And this is a EFC-funded project.
Any questions for the city engineer? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Vernucci.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vanucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 2, city engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests authorization for the mayor to sign amendment number 1 with GHD Consulting Services Incorporated in the amount of $62,500 for automation engineering services at the Westside Wastewater Treatment Plant. This is also a rescind and replace.
So like I said, we had a math error that carried into this one. But what this resolution does, and I think I've mentioned it before, GHD we have on retainer for all of our PLC and computer programming for all of our operations. And so whenever we make adjustments on the plant, we then need to go back and make sure that the SCADA systems and all the computer systems are up to date. So this is amending that side of their contract for that purpose.
Any questions? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Wall.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Vanucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 3, city engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests acceptance of a proposal submitted by CNS Companies in the amount of $169,000 for professional services as part of the Phase 2 final design services of the beautification and safety improvement project.
So we've talked about this project in the past. This is from Udo Street to Murray, where we will be doing quite a bit of work. We received state touring funds for that, which, as an update, those are like CHIPS funds, but they can only be used initially, they said, on state touring routes, which that section of 48 means it's a state route that we're responsible for. And so the state created a special pool of funds for a number of years, which we are able to save. So we piled them up and have earmarked all those funds for Route 48. The project's going to include a road diet, taking the lanes and reducing the speed of traffic through there, introducing some parking, some traffic signals, new signals, and things of that nature. We've gone through some preliminary design work. We now need to get to final design work, which includes bid plans and public meetings and things of that nature to be able to start getting this project ready to construct. If you've driven that route at any time in the last few years, it's rough. The city is definitely keen on getting it done. So this will authorize us through bids and award. I will note that if you look at the total number of hours there, the hours are high as far as what we are authorizing for them. Some of that is because of my own staffing limitations. I've asked them to take on more work that I was originally covering and had to ask them to take it on. And so some of that is ambiguity. And I have noted on here that there are some tasks here where we'll be able to likely trim some of those hours off. But to put it in perspective, right now we have roughly over $3 million earmarked for that project. Total fee for this company is going to be under 10%. So that's pretty competitive. Most of our projects are somewhere around 12%. They can go all the way up to 20% depending on complexity. So it's still a competitive rate. But to give you the assurance, when you see those numbers in that, we do require them to invoice us for all their hours, and we can check them and go through them. But I do recommend that we hire them for this. This money is reimbursed out of that $3 million, and so this is not local match. This is completely reimbursed by the state.
Counselor Allen.
Thank you. So, Jeff, I just really have some project questions for
Sure.
you. And this is really for the benefit of those watching and those in the room here. From a timeline perspective, and as counselors, we don't always keep up with it, but I know a lot of people are interested in knowing what the timeline is for these. We know that we anticipated So it's kind of a multi-part question here, but I know that we anticipated starting at least this spring if we could, or at the latest this fall with doing some of the preliminary work. My understanding is we won't be doing that now, but how do you forecast the project from here forward, and what stages can you confidently share with us now from a timeline perspective?
Sure. So you'll notice that if you read the contract language, they have been working on final design. So this phase that we're authorizing, they've already been working to keep the project as on schedule as we can. We originally had hoped to have it bid this summer and be able to do some work this fall. In all likelihood, we'll get this out to bid probably the end of December. And it's a good-sized project. I've had contractors, because they read the newspapers and they hear this project, that have already called and asked. So they're looking for it. And so we should get a good bid and be able to, if we have a mild winter, they'll certainly be able to start work outside the roadway. Things that involve asphalt, obviously, asphalt closes here in a couple weeks typically. But they'll be able to do some of the work. We have a water main that we want to replace in this project, so that'll be work that can be contemplated. But I would guess that we are on task for an early spring start, because they'll be able to start work in cold patch, things like that, without having to worry about topping. So we should be on schedule for spring and summer, and it'll be completed next year. As far as the scope of the project, like I said, it's a road diet, and we've worked with the mayor's office and scoping this and kind of working through some solutions. What that means is where we have 4 lanes from Murray to Utica, a good portion of that we're actually going to take down to 2 lanes to slow traffic down. The size of the road there is not warranted for the volume of cars that's there, which makes people go faster than they should. And with the development of the former Shapiro lot, there's parking that'll be lost in that area. And so we're introducing a parking lane along the riverside in order to accommodate fishermen and other people to use the area. The city previously did a Green Gateway project there, so this is actually building on that to try to continue to beautify, increase walkability in that area, slow traffic down. In addition, if you've ever gotten caught at the Erie Street signal, that's a pretty frustrating signal when it's 2 or 3 in the morning and you're getting off shift and it's a red light on 48 and there's nobody sitting there. And so we are going to be upgrading that signal to make it intelligent. But probably for me, the biggest hallmark of that project will be the Utica Street intersection is going to get a whole new traffic signal with pedestrian crossing. It'll be modernized so that the turning lanes will have dedicated turn lines. It'll be an intelligent signal. And it's greatly going to improve the safety of that intersection, something that's long overdue there. So,
Okay, great. And then for public sessions, when do you anticipate asking for those?
once we have the final design project, we've included in this proposal, say, some modeling and public hearings to be able to kind of just showcase the project. It's not going to be required that we have to do that, but I think for this nature of a project, it's good to get community buy-in and feedback on it. So we'll have that stuff. It'll likely be a part of our, probably our January meetings, I'm guessing, if we're going to try to bid it then. If I can get them to move a little bit and we can get some drawings 100% and be set, because right now they were kind of preliminary drawings, just lines and shading on paper. We can certainly host any sort of public session now if we wish. Really, I'll defer to the mayor at what time he wishes to do that for those. But I would say that we could anticipate doing that in November if the council and the mayor wishes, and then get it out to bid and start construction next year.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councilor Allen. Any more questions? Get a motion, please? Councilor Burridge, Councilor Allen.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burridge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Benucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Item number 4, the Office of Economic Development requests authorization for the mayor to execute a letter of intent for $1 million Restore New York grant to be used for the Oswego Train Depot rehab project.
Everybody, I'm John Shaver. and I'm the owner of the Oswego Freight House. Worked with the mayor, and we're trying to get Restore New York grant put in for this cycle. The total project's going to be a $1.8 million project. The intent is to convert the freight houses to preserve, I guess, the exterior look of it, certainly enhance the aesthetics of what it is now, put it back into service. It hasn't been used in over almost a half a century. So the intent is to have a brewery in there. It'll be a 10-barrel operation. It'll be certainly production focused, but it's also going to have a tap house in there, a small restaurant to support the the tap house and the tourism, I guess, that would go along with that. So I guess I'll leave it there for any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Counselor Gozick?
Yeah, no question, just a comment. I didn't do my homework over the weekend, but as you all know, guys, it's the first railroad depot in Oswego. It goes back to the late 1840s. It's really ahead of the curve because the big railroad boom didn't come until after the Civil War. Saving buildings like this is imperative to our local heritage and to the community to have that. Those are keepsakes. I know it's been sitting there my whole life empty, so I'm sure everyone here, I'll just encourage everybody to support this because it's such a great project. And plus, it's going to expand. Hopefully, when we look at that area there, you got downtown. Hopefully, it'll expand up a little further and spur more development, hopefully, so we see other, maybe restaurants and different things. We have the new coffee shop that comes up on 2nd Street there, so hopefully that'll expand the area. People feel comfortable, going around eating, and it'll be nice to see that develop a little bit more down there. It's a shame it's been empty so long, so I appreciate what you're doing. And I'll have a little more history for you next week. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Counselor Gozick. Any more questions or comments?
Just give me 1 second here. Okay, nope, I'm good. I just was going to question a number, but I verified it in the packet, so we're all set. Thank you.
Anything else? Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Burge, Counselor Vernucci.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Venucci?
Yes.
Counselor Walton?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item number 5, City Attorney Kevin Caracoli requests authorization for the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed for 107 East 10th Street in order to allow a transfer of the aforementioned property. Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I thought I was going to give the history lesson tonight, but I should have known better with Counselor Gozick.
I had too many papers to go.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to go back in time, this is your opportunity. We're taking you back to 1965. There was a property at 107 East 7th Street that failed to pay a water bill for $76.88. And as a result of that, the city back then foreclosed on the tax deed to the property. At some point in time, the owner must have paid those taxes and life went on. The problem is the city took over tax title to the property. So there's now a gap in the chain of title, right? So the property continued on with the same family members to this day, but now the latest generation of this family is looking to sell to a third party. When they went through and did a title examination, they found a gap in the chain of title. It was in the family, then it was in the city's name, and then years later, it goes back into the family without the city deeding the property to the family, if you follow me. So now there's a third party that's looking to purchase the property, and the attorneys and the bank and everybody involved is raising this title issue. So the easiest solution is for this version of the Common Council to go back in time and approve the transfer of the property to the current owner. And that's all this action is asking you to do, is to simply authorize the mayor to sign a quitclaim deed, deeding the property from the city of Oswego to the current owner, who will then turn around and sell it to a third party. Any questions?
Can I get a motion, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Vanucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Does anybody have anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn, please? Counselor Allen, Counselor Walton.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Burge,
Yes.
Counselor Allen,
Yes.
Counselor Vanucci,
Yes.
Counselor Walton.
Yes.